Hey everybody, welcome to PC Moment Pixel. Today I'm going to show you some tutorials on Adobe Photoshop for beginners. This is the list of the tutorials. First, we are going to go over how to open or create a file in Photoshop. If you are a beginner and you don't know anything about Photoshop, obviously this is going to help you in a lot of ways. So it's good to know how to open and create a file if you are a beginner. Then we are going to move to how to crop an image into a circle. This is also a beginner tutorial that will show you some tools, and you will even understand how to use this tool properly if we create something like a circle and crop an image using a tool. Thirdly, we are going to go over how to use the text tool. This is very important. For example, what you are seeing on the screen I designed it in Photoshop, and majorly most of them are text. So how do you use the text tool is another important thing for a beginner to know. Fourth, we are going to go over how to make difficult selection easy. In Photoshop, most of your design will require selection. You have to select some part of an image and put another part of an image. So it's very good to know how to select, and more importantly, how to select difficult pictures. I'm going to show you how to do that too. And lastly, we are going to go over some brief explanation on layer and what layer mask is. It's very important to understand the layer too, also a layer mask. And importantly, in that part of this tutorial, I will show you how to make some beautiful design using layer and layer mask. So without any further ado, let's dive right in. Oh, sorry. Lastly, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification, because we will be uploading new videos every day, and I promise you wouldn't want to miss any of those videos. So thank you once again. Let's dive right into the first part of the tutorial. Thanks. The first thing you do in Photoshop is either create a new file or open existing file, and you can do both on the start screen. Then you click on the create new here, or you click on open file. But there's another place where you can do both of these things on Photoshop, which is under file menu. When you click on the file menu, you can create a new file or open existing files. Let's open some existing files and see how it looks. Click on the open button, click on open, and you select the images or files you wish to open. I'm going to select 3 files for you to see. If you want to select more than one file, you click on the control key. You hold the control key while you click on the files. For example, I want to select this image, and the image below it. So I hold down the control button, click on the image and the next image while holding the control key. Then I click on open. Photoshop is going to open all the files that I've selected, and let's wait. So I can navigate to all the files by clicking on their names at the tab here. So that is how you open existing files on Photoshop. Also, you can create a new file or document under the file menu. Click on file, then click on new. Let's wait for it to load. Here you see different categories. Yes, Photoshop has different categories of files, And under each category, there are different presets. For example, let's say I want to use the photo category. I click on photo. Then under it, I'm going to see many presets depending on what I wish to do. For example, let's say I want to create a landscape image. I can click on it, click on the preset, and on the right hand side, I'll see the dimension and properties of this particular preset. Here I can modify the preset if I wish, or I can just click on create if it suits what I want to use it for. So let's create new. Now Photoshop has created my new document. On this document, I can create a new photo with it, add text, do whatever I want to do. In fact, I can even bring any of these images to the new document. Let's quickly do that and finish this short part of the tutorial. Click if you want to put this image on this new document. Very simple. Just select these two, then you drag the image onto the tab of the new document, then you drop. Let's try another image and see. This image, you drag it onto the tab on which you want to put it, and you drop. Let's try the third one. Drag down and you drop. So that ends this part of the tutorial. I hope. Hello everybody, welcome to PC Moment Pixel. In this video, I will show you how to crop an image into circle, something similar to this. After this video, you should be able to do this with any video in just 3 little steps. Make sure you watch till the last step because you are going to like it. So let's get started. First, you are going to open the image you want to crop. Go to pictures, flowers. This is the image. It's loading. Come on. Alright. Now we have our image in a new window. So at the right hand side, look at the layer section here. Layer section. Make sure that the image is unlocked. So to do that, just click on the lock. It's lock sign. It will be unlocked. Or if you don't see the layer section, just come to the Windows section here. The Windows menu. Layers. Just click on layers here. Layer part will come up. Now to crop the image, that will be the second step. The first step is to open the file, which we have done. Second step is to crop the image. To do that, we are going to use the ellipse tool. The ellipse tool can be found here. Just, if you don't see it, just look above the hand tool. If you don't see it, above the hand tool, just right click on the icon there. You see various tools. I think the ellipse tool, this is the ellipse tool, circular part. I think this is the default tool that usually appear above the hand tool, this rectangle tool. This is what you see on your window. Just like right click on it and click on ellipse tool. So when you have the ellipse tool selected, you just you create a circle on the part of the image you want to crop. Let's say I want to crop this flower out now. Just click at one angle, then you drag the circle around it. Depending on the part you want to crop, you might need to hold on the shift key just to make sure that the height and width of the circle is the same. I think that works well for this type of image too. But in most cases, you might not need the shift key. Just drag around the picture and you select. I think it's okay like that. So after selecting the part you want to crop, just right click at the tip of the circle. Then you click on make selection. But before I do that, in fact, before making the circle, make sure that the mode here, after selecting the ellipse tool, the mode is on part. We call this place pick to mode. Make sure that the part is selected. Then you make the circle. After making the circle, right click on the circle and click on make selection. The feather radius 0, just click OK. After making the selection, you are going to inverse the selection so that this other part will be selected. This is what I mean. Just go to the select menu, click on inverse. If you look at the image properly now, it is this other section that is selected. This place has been cropped out. So to delete this other part, just go to edit and clear. You see? So now that we have our crop image, the next thing to do is just to put it into a box or something like a rectangular or square box. So to do that, I'm going to crop it with a crop tool. Yes, crop. No, I want it. Yes, I think it's okay like this. So you hit enter to make the crop. So now you have our image. This image, you can save it and use it wherever you want to use it. Just know that this part will be transparent. You can use this type of image if you want to put it on your website or online. I think this kind of picture is good. But if you want to color this part that is transparent, it's very simple to do. Just create a new layer. This is the layer, and give the layer, go to fill to give it a color. See, kind of color can we give? Let me give it it's purple. Let's try this. I think it's okay. Color is okay. So if I should save it now, let's save it and see how it looks. Save as. It's as simple as that. Our image is ready. But there's something else I wish to show you. Let's say we want to give this circle, we want to give it border, like a border, just to make it look more beautiful. Just double click on the layer, Then click on stroke. Make sure the position is selected, inside is selected. Then select the color. In this kind of image, I think let me go with red. Okay, but the border is too big, so let me reduce it. This is the stroke. Let me reduce it. 4. I think 4 should be okay. Yeah. So with that, I've come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Hello everybody. Today I'll be showing you how to use the text tool in Photoshop. And it's very simple. First, let me create a new canvas. Great. Now that I have my canvas created in a new document, the next thing to do is to look at the left hand side. Look at this, find the T sign, the T icon. This is for the text tool. If you right click on it, on some applications there are more than 2 options, but on Photoshop 2018 I think I've got 2 options here. Anyway, the first one, which is the horizontal type tool, is the most common one, and that is the one you'll be using almost every time. So let's select it. Notice what will happen at the layers window here. As soon as I click on the canvas, look at it. Do you see that a new layer is created for the text as soon as I click on the canvas? So now let's play around with some text and how to modify it. Yes. Now, if you look at the options menu here, there are several options for you to modify the text. Very soon I will show you how to get more options. But first, let's look at what these options are. For example, the first one is for the font types. If you click at the drop down, you see a lot of fonts. See a lot of fonts you can select. First, let me highlight the text. For a quick highlight, you can just double click on the T here. You see. Otherwise, you can just highlight the text while you haven't selected another tool. Understand? You can highlight it, or you just click on the double T here. It will be highlighted. From here you can just change the font. If you look at the sign, let me make it bigger. Let me make this bigger. This is the font size. You can either increase the numbers here or just drag to the right on this icon to increase the size. So let's change the font. Okay, let me choose Arial. Good. Alternatively, you can just double click on the name of the font and use the arrow keys up and down to change the font. The options to the right is where you change the maybe bold, just to change the type of the font you've selected. Like I've said, there are so many options in the characters window, which I'm going to show you later. So here you can change the alignment of the text, and here you can change the color. Let me choose dark blue. You get it? You can change it here. Here, this one of the places where you get the character window. This character window indicates like that's the window that contains almost all the options, almost all the manipulations you can do to a text in Photoshop. For example, if I should highlight it now, I can increase the spacing between each word. If I should use this, I can increase the spacing, the tracking. If you look at the text, spacing are increased. Let me return it. Likewise, can increase the height of the text. Do you see that? So there are several things you can do. Likewise, you can change the color here, you can change the font here, and so many things. So now this character window, you can get it here like I did, or you can just come to the Windows menu here. Then just click on character, it will come up. So this is it. This is the icon. Likewise, let me show you how to put text on parts. For example, let me draw a circle, ellipse tool. Let me select ellipse tool. Change the mode here to part. Then I draw the two. Now I'll pick my text tool. Just look at the text tool here. Look at the text tool. If I'm not on the line, you get the normal sign of the text tool. But as soon as I drag the sign on top of the circle ellipse, you see the line changes bit, which indicates that if I should click and begin to type, whatever I'm typing will be on the part of the line. So this is it. I should continue to type now. Please subscribe. You get that? So that's just the easiest way to put text on part. Likewise, all the modifications you can do to normal text, you can do to this too. Just double click options, the character window. You can just increase the spacing, you can increase the height, you can reduce the height, you can increase the font size, reduce the font size, many things like that. You can do it. Likewise, you can even put some text on lines that you draw with the pen tool. For example, matter the shape or part you want to type to. So far, the text icon is selected. Just watch out for the change. Just watch out for the change, and you get it. You get the text on the part. It's as simple as that. Let's play around with the text a little bit. Let me select this. Let's change the color. This. Change the color to red. Something brown. You can modify each word separately as you want. So that's just the basics of text. Let me show you. Let me show you another thing. For example, you select the text too. You can create just a box, like a position where you want all the text you type to be. For example, if I want all my text to be just half of this canvas, immediately I select the tool, I'll just create a box. I'll cover the part or the section I want the text to be. Then I drop. So whatever I type now will be within this box. So you get the idea. All this spacing here because of the formatting that I'm giving to the text. I can change that. I can change that in the character window. Let's say I reduce the height. Get the idea. So you can just modify where you want the text to be, and there are several things you can do. It just depends on how you you can just, it depends on your imagination. I can extend it. Depends on your imagination. So I would like to stop this part of the tutorial here. Just an introduction to Photoshop text. I'll see you in the next part of the tutorial. Thanks. Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make difficult selection easy. I'll be using this scarf as an example. If you look at the scarf, it has two different parts, so to speak. The first part is the straight part, whereby the scarf, the edges are very straight, and the other part is this hairy part. And if these straight parts are very easy to select, you can be sure that this hairy part will not be easy. So how can we select these two parts and have a fine selection at the end of the day? So that's what I'll be showing you in this video. So the first thing I'll do is select the whole part. I can use the quick selection tool, which is very easy. Just drag it over the object. Come on. Very slow. Alright, so good, good. You can perfect the selection a little bit by using the lasso tool. I'll have to zoom in because I'm going to remove some part of the selection. For example, look at this white part. I would like to remove it. So you can likewise use this quick selection tool, but I prefer the lasso tool to remove any part of my selection. So I'll show you how to use it now. Okay. For example, I want to remove this extra white part. So what I'll just do, I'll hold down the Alt key on my Windows machine. Then I'll select the white part. Just the white part. So I'll select it out of the selection. You can see I've removed those parts. You don't have to make the selection very perfect here because very soon I'll show you other ways where you can just make the whole thing look perfect, but at least any extra part that you think is too much, you have to remove it. For example, I want to add this part of the scarf. I'll hold the shift key and I'll cover it up. Good. If I want to remove, I'll use the Alt key to select. If I want to add, I'll use the shift key. For example, let's say I want to add this extra white part, I'll just hold the shift key, then I'll make the circle. You can see it is selected. If I want to remove, use the Alt key, then circle around it. Gone. So let me add this part. So Alt and Shift rather. Good. Shift. Good. I think I'm okay with this selection. I will make it more smooth in the next step. Let me zoom out. So now that you have selected the object, just come to the select menu here, then go to select and mask. Now here you can see the background or the unselected part has been like blackened out so that the selected part will be more clear. You can change the option, like you can change the view. When you come to the view section here, you can change it maybe to make the background transparent, to make it overlay which is very pink, and several things like that. I think I like this pink, so I'll be able to see the part that I want to remove. What I'll do here is this: I'm going to use the refine edge tool. I'll use the refine edge tool to remove this extra white that are on the hairy part of the scarf. So just select the refine edge tool, then use the bracket on your keyboard, the rectangular bracket, to increase the size. So I think the size is too much. The rectangular bracket to reduce. So paint around the white part. You can see it's looking better now. You can see the refine edge tool is very powerful. If you want to select the hair part, let's say of a human being, of a lady or a man, you can use the refine edge tool as well. Just make the selection, then go to select and mask. You have the refine edge tool. You can use it. It's very easy to use and it's very, very wonderful. So you can see this is taking some of my time, but I believe the result will be well worth it. So just stay with me. The end result will be well worth it. You can see the Refine H2 is doing its magic. Very simple and very good. So let me clear out this part and move to the next step. If you notice, I'm only working on the hairy part here. This other part that are smooth, just leave them for now. I'm going to come back to them. This hairy part, let's focus on that. Then later I'll come and tackle this very smooth part, because this part is much easy compared to this hairy part. I think I'm okay with this. Selection is good like this. You can just play around with it to your satisfaction, but I believe you get the idea here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to output this on a new layer with layer mask. This is very important. The output should be on a new layer with layer mask. So you click OK. You can see this is my output. Good. Now I will come to the background layer that is the main picture where I made the first selection. Then I'll go to select and reselect. This time around we'll be focusing on the smooth edges, not this hairy part. So now that I've selected that, I'll go back to select and mask again. Select and mask. Now just don't focus on the hairy part. What you want to focus on now is this smooth part. So let me zoom in so that you see what I'm going to do to it. Good. What I will do here is very simple, because I've done this for several pictures and I've gotten something like a constant figure that I use for most pictures. The smooth, I'll set my smooth to 10. My smooth will be 10. I think on this picture you might not see the improvement, but if you try it out on your own, you see the improvement almost every time. I'm going to change the feather to 3 pixels. The smooth is 10, feather is 3 pixels. Then the contrast, I like putting the contrast at 50% or 55 at times. If you look at when I said the feather, look at it now. Feather, just look at the edge, you see it's not smooth. Now the 50% is taking effect, smoothing out. So I love these settings, it works for me almost every time. Just overlook the hairy part for now. Now I want to be working on you can see, just look at the edges, very smooth. This works every time, no matter the object you are selecting. So far the edge is not hairy or something like this. This setting will work every time. So now that you have made this selection, to just output it to a new layer with layer mask as well. And with the same thing, new layer with layer mask. Good. Now this is the first one. I'll rename the first one to, let's say, the airy part, so I'll be able to identify it. Airy part. Then this, the body part. Good. Now that I have my two layers, I'm going to take them onto the background where I wish to put the image. The purpose of selecting an image most of the time is to put the image on another background. So let's say I want to put it on it. Just for an example, let me just bring another background that has completely different color. Let's say I want to put it in this mountain. Yes. Yeah, the mountain is open. So let's say I want to put my selection on that mountain. So I'll select the two layers, holding the shift key. Use the shift key to select. So after selecting, just drag while holding the shift key. Drag the two layers on to the background and drop. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Let me center it. Just center it. It's big. It's big. Let me just use Ctrl T to resize it. Ctrl T, and I hold the shift key. Yes. Bring it to the center. Bring it to the center. Enter. Ctrl T. We enable the transform angles, so you can just transform it from whichever angle you wish, or transform it from any of the angles. So I'll make it center here. Now that I have the picture on the background where I want to put it, now I can do some modifications so that it will be more perfect. But now, the main purpose of this video is just to show you how to make difficult selection easy. So I'm not going to be doing too much of like manipulation here just to make it blend more with the background. I'll just show you how to make it smooth. And so now that is here, next thing is to work on the airy part. What I want to do here, I want to decontaminate the colors of the airy part. This is what I'll do. Just select the mask, layer mask of the airy part. Then go to, you can either click on select and mask here, or go to select here, select and mask. Now, let's say I will only do two things here. The first thing is I'll decontaminate the colors. Then make sure the output is set at new layer with layer mask, and you hit OK. Good. So I'll delete this old airy layer. Yes, this one, just let me rename it to airy part decontaminate. Now the contamination will make sure that the color is perfect. In this case we have one color is not perfect. That is done. Now the next thing I want to do, now you might be thinking that you are not seeing the difference. Let's say then remove the body part. You can see the airy part. Yes, look at the difference. Now what I want to do, since we are working on the airy part, I will
like to remove, I did some manipulation to the body part, but you cannot really see it here. So what I want to do, I'll just remove the body part from the hairy part. You understand? This part, if you notice, my hairy part is selected, so I'm now working on the hairy part. I will remove this body part, just leaving this hairy part that is okay. Likewise, on the body part, I'm going to remove the hairy part that is not okay, then leave out the body part that is okay. I hope you get the idea. I did some feathering and smoothness to the body part, which I didn't do to the body part of the hairy part. I hope I'm not confusing those part. I believe you get the idea. So now I'm going to remove the body part here. So to do that, it's very simple. Just I can use the selection, the lasso tool. Just I'll make sure that the hairy part mask is selected. Then I'll use the lasso tool just to cut out. To cut out the body part. Just to select the body part and fill it with black. And when you are working on mask, whenever you fill a part with completely black color, it's just going to delete that part. Let's see if I should fill it with completely black now. See what will happen. Black. Boom. It's gone. The body part is completely gone. So now I can just use the body part here. But now I still have the body part, the hairy part on this body part. So now I'm going to remove the hairy part out of the body part. Get the logic. So when you click on select the mask of the body part, I told you whenever you put black color on a mask, it's going to black. Just to delete that part of the mask. So what I'm going to, I'll use the brush tool to add black brush, just to brush this hairy part and brush it to black. So it's going to delete this hairy part out of the body part. So very simple, just look at it. This is selected. Okay, good. Then we'll move the selection. A selection have served its purpose, just to delete the body out of the hair. Here, now I want to remove the hair out of the body. It's very simple. Just select the mask of the body, then brush out the hair. Brush out hair out of the body part using black brush. Look at it. Let me make it. You are going to see it better now. And now select. You can see. You can see I'm selecting the layer, the body part layer. So now, see, I'm deleting the hair part out of the body. So I should return the hair layer. Slowly. So, look at that. I hope you get the logic. From the body, I'm deleting the hair. From the hair, I'm deleting the body. I did some different manipulation on the body and different manipulation on the hair. Good. So you can see now I have my two layers. I can just group them together using shift to select the two, then Ctrl G to group them together. Now I have my neat selection. Let's zoom in. You can see the body. Just having good secret. You can just play around and improve the selection, but I believe you get the idea. with this. So thank you for staying till the end. See you in the next tutorial.
Hello everybody. Today I'll be showing you the benefit of a layer and the benefit of a layer mask. Then I will show you an example of how to make use of these two in a fine and better way. So let me take this picture as an example. First, I don't like the width of this picture, so I'm going to crop it. To get the crop to, you can just right click on these three dots, see crop, just pick it from there. Now I'm going to crop, and I hit enter. I think I'm okay with this. So I will duplicate my picture. Before I duplicate it, let me first unlock it. Then Ctrl J to duplicate. Good. Now to explain picture, I've broken down this video into three parts, into three steps rather. The first step is where I'm going to explain what a picture is. Second step, I will demonstrate what a layer mask is and show you how to use it. By the last step, I will show you a way to use these two together. The first part is this. What is a layer? For example, I want to make some drawing on this picture now. I can just go into the brush tool here and pick a picture and pick the green. I think I'm okay with the green. Start painting or brushing on this picture. And let's say maybe I still need to do some adjustment to the flower, or maybe I need to do some manipulation to the flower. If you look at the picture, there's no any way I can differentiate the two design. I mean the brush and the flower, because the brush tool is on the flower, so I can't just separate them. With that, I can't do much with this picture now. So in order to avoid that, let me delete the layer. In order to avoid such scenario, I'm just Ctrl J to duplicate. In order to avoid such scenarios, I can just create a new layer. Then I'm going to use the brush tool on this new layer. I'm still going to have the same effect, but this time around, I can modify the two pictures separately. That's just the benefit of a layer. Every manipulation that I'm doing on this layer is going to show on these other layers below it, but it will be different. I hope you understand what I mean. So it will be different. If I still want to take out any of the layer or just bring any of the designs down or upward, I can still do that. Whereas if I should make the brush tool on this layer, I'll be limiting the effect I can make on the picture. So that's the benefit of a layer. Now let me show you the benefit of a layer mask. Before I do that, I would like to mask out the flower here, which is very simple. You can use the quick selection tool. Yes, let me use the quick selection tool. But I think I will have to increase the size of the tool. To increase the size of the tool, I can just use the rectangular bracket. Then I will drag the tool around the part I want to select. Let me zoom in. I think I've over selected some areas. Yes. over selected some part of the glass. So what I'm going to do, let me use the lasso tool. Then I'll hold down the Alt key just to pick out the other part of the glass. I think I'm overdoing it, but no problem. I'm going to make the adjustment. Likewise, this part to hold down the Alt key. This tutorial is not about selection. I'm just doing it so that the picture will look okay. You get the idea. So I have to select out this inner part, so I'll use the quick selection to give the size. The size there. The size there. Yeah, I think it's okay like that. But now let me show you what a layer mask is. This is the icon for the layer mask. If I should click on it now, look at what will happen. Just forget the canvas for a while and look at this place. If you notice, some part of the layer mask is black while other parts is white. The black part signifies the selection and it's not showing. Why? The white part is showing. So whatever is white will show, whatever is black will not show. That's what the masking tool does. And to use this, or for you to understand it more, let me go to the next step and implement or do some design using the masking tool. So this is what I'll do. Here I have the Z, let's say the Z, let me say the Z. I will name it as Z. Let me name it as Z. Z. Let's say I want the Z to be behind the flower and above the background, above the white background. How will I do that? This is what I will do. Since I have marked out the flower here, the work is very simple. I will just copy the flower, the mask layer of the flower, and put it on the Z. Just look at it, just hold down the Alt key, drag up, it's above. Do you see that? Do you see that? This is the one that is taking effect, not this. In fact, this is completely useless. It's completely useless because the only thing that I need is my Z, the mask of the flower, and the background. The mask here is covering. Let me show you. I hope you get the idea. So
So now what I want to do is this. I hope you get the idea. So this is the background, this is the Z, and this is what's making this what's happening. This is what is making the Z part that is covering the background to not show, or that is covering the flower to not show. Let me make it clearer for you. Let's say I want this part to show now, or this green part to show. What I will just do is very simple. I told you whatever is white will show and whatever is black will not show. That's what is happening here. So I'll just, these parts that are not showing, they are black on the layer mask. So what I will just do, let me take out the brush tool and paint it white. So it's going to show. Notice that white is selected here. It's going to show. That's it. That's just the simple effect of a layer mask. Let me do this as well. And do this. Do you get the idea? Let me show you how to click. Do you see that? I painted those parts. Paint it white is going to show. You get the idea now? So that's just the simple difference between a mask and a layer mask. To bring this video or this part of the video to a close, let me add some text. Let me add some text. Z flower. Very simple. Save. Let me save it. Save the design. PNG. So that's it, guys. Just a simple illustration of what a layer is and what a layer mask is, and how to, a simple explanation on how to use it. So thank you for watching till the end. I'll see you in the next part of the tutorial.